Hey folks, today I want to take a moment to respond to the manifesto of the very nice, kind, and friendly federal assassin who is now on trial for attempting to assassinate the Trump administration. And I know it's now pointless for him to listen to my response because, he's already committed or attempted to commit the sinister deed. So my response comes too late to stop him. But it may not be too late for future assassins who, friendly or not, will likely share the same worldview. This manifesto embodies this guy's flawed reasoning and truly warped view of the world. So let's get started. But first, if I could ask you to subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. Now, I won't be responding to every line or sentence. I'm only going to touch on the main parts, right? So let's go. After a slew of apologies, the friendly assassin confesses, "I don't expect forgiveness, but if I could have seen any other way to get this close, I would have taken it." Really? How about waiting a couple of years and casting a vote? I don't know. Last time I checked, that's how democracy works. But what do I know? I'm not the genius engineer, right? Then he goes on to say, "I'm no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes." Okay. So since you are so certain that Trump is a pedophile, rapist, and traitor, one can assume that before you attempt to punish someone for the sins they committed, you must have something called evidence, right? And if you did have evidence, wouldn't it be reasonable to attach it to your manifesto so that we could at least understand your position? But no evidence. Where's the evidence? Nothing but words. Words you're probably parroting from other politicians like Eric Swalwell, Adam Schiff, and the mainstream media. If you set out to end someone's life, at least get proof. Then our friendly assassin outlines his rebuttal to a number of objections. On objection 1, as a Christian, you should turn the other cheek. He responds, "Turning the other cheek is for when you yourself are oppressed. I'm not the person raped in a detention camp. I'm not the fisherman executed without trial. I'm not a school kid blown up or a child starved or a teenage girl abused by the many criminals in this administration." So are you saying that every person raped in a detention camp, every fisherman executed without trial, every school kid blown up, every child starved, or every teenage girl abused has only been wronged by Trump and his administration? Do you really believe none of that is inflicted by anyone else in the US government? If you had done your homework a bit better, just a little bit better, you would have found that atrocities are not exclusive to one side. So why now? Why this target? Because you've been influenced, misled into a narrow and distorted view. By the way, you don't have to turn the other cheek. You can fight back, but you do that at the ballot box. That's how civilized societies resolve their differences, not by condemning someone without a single shred of evidence. Then our friendly assassin expresses astonishment at the Secret Service's incompetence, pointing out how easy it would have been for someone to penetrate the perimeter. And although that may be the only point he attempts to make, he still failed, despite what he calls their incompetence. Not only has he destroyed his own life and his parents' lives, but he also failed in his attempt. That's something he'll have to live with for decades. Finally, our friendly assassin recommends that kids stay in school and not act as recklessly as he did. And to you, kids and adults alike, it is never morally justified to murder someone unless in self-defense. Period. That is me, you, and the truth.